The 10 most powerful characters in Supernatural. The biblical apocalypse was the focus of years of supernatural buildup. The Winchester family faced up against every kind of monster over decades, from the easily killed freak of the weak ghosts and ghouls to the gods, devils, and angels of the later seasons. But some of Supernatural's greatest characters stand out as the most powerful of them all based on their threats, backgrounds, histories, and what is seen. Number 10. Crowley, King of Hell. Crowley demonstrated his strength via pure practicality and cunning. After the apocalypse was cancelled, there was a power vacuum, so Crowley crept in and declared himself King of Hell, holding on to that position for the majority of his stay on the program. He showed his ability to plan effectively during his whole rule. When a bigger bully shows around, he knows how to blend in. He's constantly looking for ways to further his dominance through alliances with more powerful individuals, spirits, and tablets. Crowley is still significantly more potent than the typical demon, therefore he shouldn't be minimized as one of Supernatural's strongest characters. He only had the opportunity to serve as the primary antagonist from the start of Season 8 onward, and although he eventually sided with the Winchester family, his influence as a foe shouldn't be underestimated. But his eventual demise demonstrated that he could be undermined and destroyed. Number 9. Beta Vampire, Beta. Crowley spent the 6th season rounding together the Alphas, the strongest and oldest of Supernatural's strongest characters. The Alpha Vampire was the one and only one cunning enough to flee. The Alpha Vampire was first glimpsed in a memorable and eerie dream that Dean had in Live Free or Twihard, but it wasn't until Season 7 that he was seen in his element. When left alone, the Alpha dresses sharply, hangs out in an opulent house, and even temporarily sides with Sam and Dean to keep his fine things. The Alpha's declaration that he'd see Sam and Dean next season was one of the show's funnier plot twists. For many seasons, the character abruptly vanished from the program before Sam ultimately murdered him in Season 12's The Lair. Number 8. Witch Rowena. When Rowena obtained the Book of the Damned, she transformed herself from an above-average witch to one of Supernatural's most terrifying villains. She has manipulated reality with it, turned people into her attack dogs, and even eliminated the mark of Cain. Fortunately, Rowena was frequently pushed into an uncomfortable partnership with the Winchesters and Crowley by circumstances and far more formidable foes. Number 7. Lilith is the original demon. Lilith traveled the world for a full year, breaking one seal at a time, bringing about the end of the world. Sam's cost in gaining the strength to defeat Lilith was significant. She was merely a sign of things to come, though. Lilith holds the distinction of being the first demon Lucifer converted in the universe of the supernatural. When she ascended, she discovered her favorite pastime, capturing young girls and compelling them to torment their families. She weakened the ties that bound the Winchester family through Ruby and even personally forced a hellhound onto Dean. Sam spent a season corrupting himself through the demon blood diet because he was so desperate to exact revenge. The main reason Lilith is remembered is what is done in her honor. Number 6. ABADDON, Knight of Hell. ABADDON was one of Supernatural's most powerful characters in Season 9, but there was also METATRON, an angelic civil war, Sam being possessed by GABRIEL, and the most recent and apparent irreparable breach between the Winchesters. ABADDON's objectives never received the proper amount of air to grow. What does it matter if she takes hell from Crowley? But those are plot problems. The persona, who sliced and diced her way through the ages, was the most enduring and powerful of Cain's Knights of Hell. She managed to escape a decapitation and later returns for more. Dean was compelled to accept the dreaded mark of Cain to stand a chance against her, and this decision had significant ramifications for the seasons that followed. Dean was ultimately able to eliminate ABADDON for good thanks to the mark of Cain and the first blade. Number 5. CAIN, the first criminal. CAIN was one of the most powerful characters in Supernatural. He was the first Knight of Hell and the one who trained ABADDON and the others. The circumstances of his renowned fratricide were more intricate than the Bible would have you believe, and he was the Cain of the biblical Cain and Abel fame. He killed his brother to guarantee his entrance into heaven and, at Lucifer's insistence, adopted the mark of Cain to enclose the darkness. Cain committed suicide, but Mark raised him from the dead and transformed him into the most dreaded demon in Earth's history. He gradually overcame his violent tendencies and lived in peace and seclusion, but after running into Dean, he lost his resolve and started annihilating his entire line of ancestors. Fortunately, Dean stopped him. Amid the turbulent 9th season, CAIN was a breakout character, and his comeback episode was a genuine highlight of the understated Season 10. Fans didn't get to see much of this character, but in just 2 episodes, he left a huge impression. Number 4. Eve, the mother of all monsters. During her stay on Earth, Eve birthed every single alpha monster, and as her offspring took over the world, she hung out in purgatory. Halfway through the 6th season, she reappeared inexplicably, and it took several episodes before viewers learned why. It was all about Crowley, as it is with many things in the modern supernatural. It was an unexpected storyline twist to introduce Eve as a new Lucifer-level antagonist, only to kill her off 3 episodes before the season's end and reveal Crowley and Castiel as the real baddies. In the end, the Winchester family's adversaries were Crowley and Castiel. Number 3. RAPHAEL-ARCHANGEL. Raphael, the youngest of the 4 archangels, was most frequently pictured as a blindingly brilliant light whenever Chuck the Prophet was in danger. The whole eastern seaboard was submerged in a torrential downpour at his proper introduction in Season 5's Free to Be You and Me, and he made several somber proclamations about destiny and the end of the world. After that, the character vanished entirely from the 5th season. The writers had Raphael in mind when it came time to introduce a villain in Season 6. There isn't much here in terms of character. Raphael acts as a sort of conduit for noteworthy situations and episodes, though. Number 2. The Trickster, Gabriel. Some of Supernatural's funniest and most enjoyable early episodes were created by the Trickster, who had a wicked sense of humor and the power to bend reality. By the time he died in the 5th season, the character had already won over many fans. Although subsequent episodes would have a Trickster, like Feel, the figure himself was sadly missed. Fans of the Trickster rejoiced when the character made an appearance in Season 13, even though his sense of humor had changed as a result of his ordeal. The Trickster was more complex than first appeared. It was discovered that Gabriel, one of the 4 archangels, was the Trickster. His interactions with Sam and Dean were later shown to be peculiar life lessons. Number 1. Angel Tablet Power, Up by Metatron. Every aspect of Metatron seems to be there to deceive the spectator. Even when he turned on Castiel in the 8th season finale, he didn't seem like a serious threat. He was just too cute. He nevertheless used the Angel Tablet's strength to make significant adjustments to both heaven and earth. He drove all the angels from heaven, prevented the ascension of human souls, and eventually descended to earth to take on the role of the new god. For a few more seasons, Metatron persisted in the guise of a diminished version of himself. He was imprisoned after making a few frantic attempts to seize control. In the end, Metatron was saved when he persuaded God to begin caring about people once more. The angel had to be killed by the outmatched CHARA. How was the video? Do you enjoy it? Tell us in our comments section below and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates.